Hello and welcome back to English classes by Nitya Kapoor. So we are back with another video, and today's video is going to be about how do we introduce ourselves. So at some point or the other, we all need to introduce ourselves, be it in a casual setting, be it in a formal setting. We are going for an interview, or we are meeting new people at a party, at a function, or anything. We all need to introduce ourselves, and at most point of times we do not get what do we need to say, or how do we say it, or formally how do we talk, or informally how do we talk. We go out of topics and all of that. So we'll be talking about those things, and I hope you can get a better introduction for yourself after this video. So let's start. We all say, "Hi, my name is Nitya," like this. No, but that is wrong. That's a big no. We should start by saying, "Hi, myself Nitya." That is much better, and that is also grammatically correct. My name is Nitya is a school point of view introduction kind of thing, like you write in a myself. That is not needed when you are giving introduction in the real world, be it with your friends or at a function or at interviews or any formal setting where you are at a meeting, you're meeting new people. You must say, "Hi, myself dash your name. Hi, myself Nitya." That looks much better and much more confident than what sounds "my name is Nitya." Next point is, say it with a smile. Whatever you say it with a smile. Do not have a frown on your face. No one likes to talk to a person who always has a frown on their face. And when you're meeting the person for the first time, you need to have a smile on your face. The third thing we are going to talk about is, we all like to talk about our achievements. But if you just go and say like, "I've done this, I've gotten this thing, I've achieved this thing," that sounds very rude. So instead of that, ask what the other person has done in their life. Ask what the other person has achieved in their life. Ask what the other person is most proud of. And now in turn, what the other person will do, they'll answer you and then question you back. Then you'll get a chance to talk about your achievements, to talk about the things that you are proud of the most, or what you have done in your life that makes you the most proud. Next is, you need to know what are icebreakers. Icebreakers are like fun things. Maybe it can be a joke, it can be a witty comment, it can be anything which can break the ice between two people. What is now breaking the ice? To break the shyness, or the place where the two cannot talk because it's new, or the setting is new, or you feel shy, or anything like that. So you need to break the ice. So what do you need to do to break the ice? You need to crack a joke, or maybe pass a witty comment, or anything that can make the other person feel more comfortable so that they can talk to you. The next can be, you need to know how you should talk in a formal setting and how you should talk in an informal setting. Now, what are formal settings? Formal settings are all the important things, like a meeting or an interview, or you're talking to someone who is at a much higher level professionally than you are. And informal settings are like, you're meeting a friend, you're at a function, you're at an event, you're at a party. So now, for example, you meet a person formally. You can say, "Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. Hi, I've been waiting to bump into you." Now, these are formal things. But informally, you can say, "Hey, what's up?" That's enough. But formally, you cannot say, "Hey, what's up?" You need to use a better vocabulary. You need to frame your sentences in a better way. Next is, don't just talk about your work, everything, only just your work. That looks very rude. If you're meeting your friends and all of that, if you're going to only talk about your achievements, just your work, it's going to be very rude. So talk about personal things. So talk about the things that you like, talk about the things that you don't like, talk about the things that makes you happy, and that kind of thing. So those things add a certain personal touch to your conversation, which helps the other person to connect to you even further. Next is, don't just keep on blabbering, don't just keep on talking about yourself, don't just keep on like saying things one after the other. Try to ask questions and then take the conversation forward. Like, how can you ask questions? Like, you can, if you are meeting someone outside, you can say, "What do you like to eat? Should we go and eat?" Then like that, then you can tell what you like to eat, or what is your favorite restaurant for that, such kind of a thing. So take the conversation forward by asking more and more questions, so that the other person also feels important to make a bond, or to be friends with you. Next is how to personalize your conversations. Now there are many books that say that when you talk while taking the name of a person, that person personalizes your conversation even more. So talk by taking the name of the other person oftenly. That makes the other person feel more important and more connected in a way. Next thing is work on your vocabulary. Don't just use simple sentences like anything. Like, don't just use simple sentences. Work on your vocabulary so that it looks better, so that the words that come out of your mouth looks educated and you know what you're talking about, so that it looks like that. So the best way to improve your vocabulary is to read more and more. The smartest people are the ones who read more and more. Most of the smartest people are those who read a lot. So try to read, find new words, search meanings, and try to use it in your everyday daily conversations. Next can be use a hook. Use an interesting fact about your life. Anything that you find interesting that happened with you. It can be a funny thing, or it can be anything that you think is interesting and not many people have that in their life, or it's just like personalized to you. So add that kind of an interesting fact so that people may ask more questions or may be more like amazed by, wow, this is a different thing, I want to know more about it. Next is, see, we live in a diverse country, so there are different religions, people come from different cultures. So try not to talk about religions and cultures in your first meetings, or to like put your religion or put your culture on a pedestal. Rather than talking about religions and cultures, talk about light topics. Don't talk about controversial topics which can offend them. So if you offend a person in the first meeting itself, they will not want to be your friend. So avoid that kind of conversations. Next is adjust your introduction, your talks, your pace. Now what do I mean by adjust your pace? Now if you're talking to a child, your pace needs to be slow. If you're talking in a meeting, your pace needs to be fast. Like depends on who you're talking to, your way of talking, your pace, everything changes. So you need to know how to adjust and how to tailor your pace and other things. Now adjust your content as well. Like you cannot be talking all work with friends, and you cannot be talking in the same way like you talk to a child to a boss. So you need to adjust your content also. Like if you're talking to a child, you need to know that these are the things that you need to speak about. And if you're talking to your boss, so you need to know that these are the things that you can only talk about, and these are the things you cannot talk about or you cannot say. Next is speak clearly. Make sure that the words that are coming out of your mouth are clear, are vivid. Don't mumble. Don't try and be mumble. If you need to take pauses, take pauses. Pauses doesn't make you sound like you don't know what you're talking about. It just adds a better, like a structure to your conversation. So don't be afraid to take pauses, but don't mumble. Be clear what you're talking about. Don't just blabber. Be vivid. Take it, like talk like you own it. Like take the conversation wherever you want. Just be clear. Next thing is avoid criticizing others. Like if you're talking to someone and if you're only talking about, like you're just criticizing them, you're just telling them you're this, you're that, you didn't do this thing right, you didn't do that thing right, I don't like this about you, I've heard this thing about you and I don't like this about you, the other person would not want to be your friend or would not want to be like related to you in any sense. So don't talk about such things when you are introducing yourself or when you're talking to the person for the first time. The last thing is use your body language. Like don't just talk like a robot. You don't have to talk like a robot. You can use your hands, you can like it, and using body languages shows that you're confident in what you're talking about. You're a confident person in general. And there is one thing that is called mirroring. Now what is mirroring? Mirroring is like you copy the other person's body language. For example, the other person is standing in a certain way, so you also stand in a certain way. The other person is looking at a certain thing, so you also start to look at that certain thing. So that also makes a connection between the two, and the other person feels like a little more connected to you. So that will also help you make better bonds. And the last thing can be to make eye contact while you're talking. If you're only looking down or if you're looking here and there, it makes you look really underconfident, and it doesn't help you or it doesn't make your case. So try to make eye contact as much as you can and look at that person, try to mirror that person. I think that is all that I have for you today. And make your introduction, like make corrections in it, work on it. It's a very important part. So If you need any help with your introductions, you can leave it in the comments below and I will definitely help you out. And if you are still here, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like this video, comment, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll meet in the next video. Bye.